Hello and welcome back to New Hampshire's number one sports podcast, where one of the hosts had his first sauna experience and lasted 7 minutes. It is the Never Worse podcast. I'm your host, Tom Brown, joined as always by my brother, Tim. Tim, do you want to tell the people how it was in that sauna for the first time?
Yeah, well, you shorted me 4 minutes. I was in there for 11. And it's hell, folks. I don't understand how anybody finds that enjoyable.
You walked in and you were a step in and you said, "Oh, what is this?"
Yeah, not for me.
How long before you started perspirating?
I was probably 7 minutes in, maybe five.
Hmm.
The underboob gets you every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, as I mentioned in the sauna, I'm more of a steam room guy.
I just don't understand the point of that. Like, I wasn't sweating enough to get the bad out.
Mm-hmm.
I was just uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. The
I will
sauna,
say, though, you were right that I brought that drink.
yeah, you
Because
need to bring a drink. You would have,
that's crazy.
yeah, and you start looking at you get red. You're like, okay, is this little ticker going to handle this? Is this going to be it? Not the salted meats? But
I
you did
did
it.
when I got in the pool after, went up to the room. Kate was at Target. Luckily, she came in because I thought it was a big one. I
You
was
felt
laying in bed
lightheaded.
and I was just like, I'm gonna die in this dirty DoubleTree hotel.
Yeah.
And I don't
Oh,
know if there's any way I'd want to go.
yeah, probably not. I mean, it would be fitting. Um,
Would have been very rock and roll.
yeah, it really would have. Huge damper on the rest of the evening, though. But you were third in line. What does it even matter? Um,
Yeah.
so, Tim, while we were disconnected from the kind of the sports world for a weekend, some moves happened. Patriots got busy. So, I mean, one thing we did talk about that happened prior to us getting down at George's wedding. Shout out to George, former guest. He got hitched. Um, the Patriots signed Juju Smith-Schuster, 3 years, $33 million. First, let's start it with this. What do you think?
So I have 3 years, 25 million.
I mean, I saw 333. I thought, but maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. You talk. I'll look up.
Yeah, irregardless. So 5 years ago, he had 111 catches, 1,426 yards, and something like 13 touchdowns. Roethlisberger sucked the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he was hurt for one of them. He goes to Kansas City where, Mahomes spreads the ball around. Do you think there's a chance he could kind of get back to that?
Yeah.
Like he's young. I mean, we argued about it at the wedding,
Turns
and
out
it
he's the
turned out
same age.
they're the same age.
So,
So he's just better than Jacoby Myers.
well, yeah, I'll bring that up in a second. The the thing is about getting back to where he was. He had
Antonio
rookie,
Brown is not on the
yeah,
other side.
right. And did Claypool come in his second year? I
Maybe
think, I think,
I get what you're saying. He was like dominant as a number two with a good number three.
yeah. And I mean, he was really good this year. He didn't put up like stupid Justin Jefferson numbers, but he was good.
He was better than Myers.
No,
I thought they were like super similar, and then I looked into it this afternoon. He had 78 receptions,
who's this?
930. This is Juju.
Yeah.
78 receptions, 933 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. He's a yak god. He is so good after the catch.
And Myers did 67, 804 with 6 touchdowns, which I was surprised by.
Yeah. It took
But
him
no
like,
big plays.
yeah. It was now I think we both can agree just the overall frustration of the offense and not going to Myers more was ridiculous this year, but
No,
I
it
think
was
in
they
a
went to Myers
vacuum,
a ton. They didn't go to Bourne enough.
yeah,
I
true.
think Bourne and Juju are going to play great off each other.
I think in a vacuum, the Juju is a better football player than Jacoby Myers,
Yeah.
which was going to be my next question. Like, they must have seen something with Myers because they got essentially the exact same deal.
My big issue originally when I saw that it was the same deal was Jacoby Myers just seemed like the guy. Like Troy Brown never put up awesome numbers,
Mm-hmm.
but you wouldn't trade Troy Brown for a number one wide receiver because he was just like the constant guy that was there.
Yeah.
And I feel like Myers could have been that. I also don't think the Patriots are that team anymore.
No, definitely not. I like it's
Like you
weird.
said, Juju is a better player, and at this point in time, the Patriots just need better players.
Exactly. They do just need better players. That's a fact. But the other thing I keep thinking is I just think everyone's equilibrium is thrown off with like how historically bad the offense was last year to the but mainly again due to coaching, not because necessarily the players aren't good football players. Like I don't think Jacoby Myers sucks.
Oh,
I don't think Hunter Henry sucks. I think the positions they were put in were awful.
I might think
As
John Smith sucked.
well, that's not something we as fans have to worry about anymore.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Um, so yeah, so I think the Patriots looked at it as Juju Smith-Schuster is a better football player than Jacoby Myers, just hands down.
Also, he was considered like a number one receiver. After Antonio Brown left,
Yeah,
he had a season where he was a number one wide receiver. And you know what he did? Got 98 catches and 1,200 yards and
yeah,
13 touchdowns
and that was that,
because he's a number one wide receiver.
and that was Twilight Big Ben. That wasn't
Yeah.
2015, 2014 thrown for 5,000 yards Big Ben.
I just don't think Myers could have put up those numbers.
Oh, geez, Tim, Mexico just hit a 3-run homer.
It's going to happen.
Wowza. All right.
That Reyes and Madera are happy.
They signed Mike Gesicki, 1 year, 4.5 million.
Kind of liked it.
Yeah, I think he's definitely he's in there for his receiving offense because from what I see, his blocking is not great.
I think he's there for when I think Hunter Henry will be the number two. More receive, like they're going to try to take the snaps away because he's always hurt.
Yeah.
Gesicki, when I was looking at it, he's played every game. Well, I shouldn't say every game. He's played 88% of the games the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Hunter Henry's been hurt the past two for long stretches. So I
Yeah.
think he's going to spell him, and they're both kind of the same player.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. I think maybe, just maybe with Bill O'Brien coming in, they're going to not rely on the run as much, not consider themselves a run first team, even though Stevenson's great, but Stevenson and Harris, who I don't think will be re-signed or back or in any
We'll get to
capacity.
that next.
Yeah, but they were hurt. And it was like, well, now we're dealing with third string guys. So
Now, do you think it goes back to the two tight end offense? Because I don't.
I just
Unless
think
Gasecki's on the line and Henry split out or
I think
whatever
it would be the
reverse you.
opposite.
Yeah, whatever
I
or you
think
want to do that in.
I think they do something like that, but I think they spread it out more and don't run. I think Mac Jones stays in the shotgun, which we talked about. We would also like some play fakes. So if he's under center too, that'd be great, but has like 4 wide receivers.
And one of them is Henry, and then You have Gasecki on the line, and then it's Bourne, Juju,
Yeah.
I guess Devontae Parker. That's not bad because you can run and pass out of that,
Yeah. Or Tyquan Thornton. Maybe he gets more.
which I think he
Uh
will.
yeah, he should. I don't know why he was a superstar in the making,
Well,
broke
he
his
was hurt
collarbone.
for
Yeah, no, but then they just like didn't put him in.
because Patricia sucks.
That is a fact. So to the point on Damian Harris, they signed James Robinson, 2 years, 8 million. I like James Robinson. He got
Yeah,
buried on the Jets. He had a foot injury, I think. And
but
but
then
he
he
was
he played a
productive
little
with
bit
the
after
Jaguars.
Brees Hall got hurt.
Yeah, but I think he was like slow with a foot injury. Trust me, I had him on a fantasy team. He didn't play too much.
So I wrote, this means Harris is gone.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was done. His
He's
contract was done, right?
yeah, he's a free agent.
Yeah, so they were never going to pay him. He was just hurt too much. I think if he'd stayed healthy, they probably would have paid him.
Mm. Stevenson was just so good.
Yeah, you did find something with Stevenson back there. I thought they just were both good. Um, Harris, when he played and was healthy, always productive, but it was always a hamstring. It was always those like,
Which is just shitty for a running back because it's gonna happen every time.
right. You just break through, run 12 yards, get shoved out of bounds, and it's something about the deceleration. You just pull your hamstring. Forget about it.
I like it. I like him to be a change of pace with Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
He's better out of the backfield
Mm-hmm.
than even Harris. I mean, Harris was that good out of the backfield. Stevenson, he was good out of the backfield last year, but he can't do like the swing pass. And James Robinson has the speed for that.
Yeah. The Stevenson was a lot of just dump offs. Like he leaked out after they were getting beat and the slants didn't work or the screens didn't work and Mac Jones just dumped it off. But I think you can like
Because it's the worst offense ever ran.
yeah. I think you can draw up something like you said with James Robinson coming out of the backfield and it will work.
This isn't in the rundown, but
Don't go off script,
looking
Tim.
back, what was that 20 weeks ago? No, 10 weeks ago. That's the worst offense you've ever seen in the past 25 years watching the Patriots.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Maybe even football.
yeah, see that's the thing. You might have to go obviously you can't count any year with Tom Brady and then
No, but
you
go
compare it
NFL wide. Like
NFL
the
wide.
Patriots had good players. Mac Jones, I understand that the Pro Bowl was kind of bullshit, but he had an awesome rookie year. Everybody thought he was something.
Yeah.
And the Patriots, like they didn't have a breakout offensive player, but they had a good enough offense.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody was kind of moderate, and it was that bad. It's not
Yeah.
like you had a shitty quarterback.
No, so
It's not the
this was
Bears who had a
worse.
bad offensive line
This
and a
was
bad quarterback before Fields got there.
right. I think it was you could compare it to the Urban Meyer Jaguars. That was pretty awful.
Yep.
The only other Patriots one is then you go to that COVID year and you look at it was similar to this past season where it was like if it was 3rd and 7, they weren't getting it. They weren't
If it was third and
passing.
3, they weren't getting it because they were fucking running a screen
No, I know.
with a
So it's
dominant running back. Like
they couldn't those 2 years when it got to third down, you didn't trust it. Last or 2 seasons ago, Mac Jones's rookie year, you were like, okay, they might get it. They still only beat bad quarterbacks, but I
I
don't know.
think that's a I think that last point's a bigger part on the defense.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of defense, Tim, Jalen Mills was waived. I jotted down he was always fine, but
Yeah.
he never wowed you. He was never the number one guy.
No. I just wrote he just wasn't that good.
Yeah,
He's not a number two. Like he's probably a slot.
I don't know. He just kind of would when you look at the Patriots with Jonathan Jones, Jack Jones, Adrian Phillips, uh, Kyle Duggar, McCourty last year, Jabril Peppers, who has a rejuvenation. You're
Adrian
gonna attack.
Phillips.
I said that. Uh, you're gonna attack Jalen Mills out of that group, and that includes Jack
I
Jones
don't,
was a rookie.
I don't know. A lot of people threw at Jonathan or yeah, Joseph Jones. What's his name?
Jonathan Jones.
Yeah. A lot of people threw at him.
Yeah, but he was out of position. I feel like he should be the slot guy. He's a incredible slot corner, and you need that. But they had
Yeah.
him on the outside.
And that's how I felt about Mills. Like he got beat because that's not his position.
Yeah, he shouldn't be on the top guy or the second guy.
Yeah. I just didn't. But I think this is a lot of the Patriots banking on Jack Jones.
Mm-hmm. Coming back from
They
suspension.
Yeah, but like what he missed a meeting or he didn't follow pro
He did something stupid that it was just like he was a rookie, and I don't
I
know.
think he didn't follow the recovery schedule or something.
Mm.
Him and Jake Bailey did the same thing.
Well,
R.I.P. to Jake Bailey.
well, he's not dead, but he did get cut.
Oh, he's out of the NFL.
Well, I don't care. He kicked it right down the middle, 20 yards every time. Then Tim, they signed two tackles, Calvin Anderson and Riley Riff. I'll
So
I'll figure out his name in August.
um
But
I
hold on,
got oh
just for the sake of what kind of players these are. According to Pro Football Focus, Calvin Anderson was the 48th ranked overall tackle, and Riley Rife was 51st. To put that in perspective,
all
the
right. I
guy
think you got the wrong number. I got different numbers because I use the same source.
did you look at overall or did you look at passing or running? I looked at overall tackles.
Well, I don't have a. Do you have a subscription?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just looked at passing, I guess.
Anyways, to put that in perspective, one of the guys they played way too much, Isaiah Wynn, was 72nd. So it's an improvement. That's all that matters.
It is, and I wrote, it's not the answer, but it helps them with depth, and we can say bye to Isaiah Wynn.
Most importantly.
But then when you look like, so I went through and I looked at them, and then I wanted to look at the Patriots tackles. Trent Brown had a 67.3 grade.
Mm-hmm.
He was first in the NFL in penalties.
Yeah.
And
Calvin
then
Anderson had 4 penalties last year. I'll take that.
and I think Reef had one. I don't think he played all the games, but he only had one in the 15 games he played.
Connor McDermott was better than both of them.
Well, Trent Brown was number 9.
Yeah, that was wrong too, Tim. You were looking at bad numbers.
What do you mean? Oh, because they didn't have the run stats in there?
Yeah, maybe that's the difference. Maybe I was just, yeah.
No, it had, I don't know, it had pass offense and run, but it doesn't have like the specialty stats.
I'm just looking at position, tackle. The number 9 guy on my list was Jordan Mailata. So Trent Brown. Here, let me go by team. Patriots. Trent Brown was 43rd.
How much does this cost you?
Tim, it's a rude to ask about money.
Oh,
I could give you my login info.
I'm gonna need that because I'm
Trent
getting bad
Brown was
info.
43, Connor McDermott 46, Calvin Anderson 48, Riley Reef 51st, Isaiah Wynn 72nd.
Well, that makes the numbers look way better for the Patriots now.
Yeah.
Um, but then you look back at Trent Brown's penalties.
Hmm.
They were all, not all, but 90% were mental.
Yeah.
False starts, just like not understanding what's going on with the defense. And that's a dumb hold. It's not like a hold where like he's getting beat. They were just like, he got so beat that he had to hold,
Right.
but he had 7 false starts.
Yeah.
You
Now
can't have 7 false starts as a starting left tackle in the NFL. That is childish.
I'm not gonna make excuses for him, but there was some
But I
communication
think
issues.
that's what I'm trying to bring this back to. Like, I think that was an issue, is that the
Yeah.
play wasn't getting out there, the snap count, whatever it is. And that's why he sucked. I also think he has to play right tackle.
I I really wonder, like we everyone's mentioned this. We talked about it. The turnaround for the Jaguars was so gigantic because they got a competent head coach. I wonder if on offense next year we're just like, oh, sweet, they can score 22 points. They can score 24 points. Even if they're not like, even if they don't go 13-4, if they're scoring 24, 28 points, it's like, okay, you have a much better chance here. You're not running a
11
screen on
and
third
7.
and 8. But I'm just saying, I wonder if like halfway through the year next year, we're like, holy shit, that coaching was so bad last year, which we
I
already feel
am,
like.
I mean, we're in March, and I've already talked myself fully into this offense
There you go. There you go.
because I think it was just that bad.
Yeah.
The fact that Mac Jones came out at one point and said he didn't know who was calling the plays, and I know we talked about this 3 weeks ago, but that's crazy.
That's that's insane.
So you wonder how the offensive line feels. Mac Jones has to change the coverage with what, 7 seconds left,
Yeah.
and then
That's
Trent Brown doesn't get it, and he gets beat like he stole something.
well, that's now the times where Mac Jones looked whiny and complainy on the sidelines have a little more context,
Yeah,
where he's like screaming at the sideline because he's calling timeout because a play wasn't called. Is it's un it's unimaginable that in the NFL a guy won't call a play.
yeah, and I I feel like that affected everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to.
And the defense, they held it to, and that's the issue. Like, I know I made the comment earlier that the defense only beat bad quarterbacks probably the past, what, 3 years.
Oh yeah.
But if the offense was competent, the defense wouldn't be on the field so much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they're actually good. They're good against bad teams.
Hmm. Yeah, but
But
if
when
you
you play a
can,
good team, if you keep giving a good team the ball repeatedly, there's not much the defense can do.
and not just giving them the ball, three and
Three and
outs
out, 3 and out.
over and over, with bad punts. I mean, Jake
Yeah,
Bailey was really bad.
he was.
Just
And he used to be awesome.
a couple other things. They re-signed James Ferentz, another offensive lineman.
Always good.
Um, Devin McCourty retired. We touched on that
We
last
talked,
week.
yeah. Um,
Re-signed Mac Wilson, not Mac Jones. Release Brian Hoyer. Uh,
can I
Re-signed.
just say one thing? Love
Yeah,
that Calvin Anderson's 25 years old.
yeah, that's great. It's good news.
He's a young, good tackle.
Now, makes you wonder about the draft. Are they gonna go trade down? They're gonna go for it. What I don't know.
They need to still draft a tackle.
They still need to draft someone at what is it, 14?
14.
You have to keep that pick.
And you have to draft a tackle. Whether it's Jones, well, I don't know if Jones will fall or Skornansky. That's what we're calling him.
Skoronsky.
Skoronsky. He's not falling to you.
No, I don't know.
The Bears are going to take him at 9 if he makes it to 9.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We got plenty of time to wait on that. When is it? 2 weeks or something?
But you still need a tackle.
Yeah, I hope they stay there. I for sure hope they stay there and
Now, this kind
make it the
of
pick.
moves me on to something. I got 2 things
Okay.
that we didn't talk about. Hopkins. Lot of chatter today and yesterday about the Patriots getting him.
I would take that pick. I would take him.
Would you trade the 14th pick for Hopkins?
No,
Because I would not.
no, not the 14th pick. No. Whoever did someone say that? Someone say they would
Well,
do that?
so I don't know who this. I was reading this thing on Twitter. Babs on the mic. I don't know who he is.
Mm-hmm. Did he have a blue check mark?
Yeah, but somebody told me that only costs $8.
Yeah, we could be verified.
But he leads Patriots Nation
Oh,
is what it says.
oh, Damian
And
Harris signed with the Bills.
I don't love that.
Babs on the mic, you say?
Yeah. And he said it's the teams are close,
Is there a
but the
Z?
Patriots, yeah. The Patriots don't want to include Bourne or Devontae Parker. And I said, I wouldn't include Bourne, but I would Devontae Parker in a heartbeat. But that makes me think that the 14th pick is in there. But he's not worth it.
No. Nope.
Like if it's a second rounder and Devontae Parker, I'll do that every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Devontae Parker didn't really show me anything on those, what he called 80-20 balls.
But again, maybe it was the offense. But I would rather just it be thrown to Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not going to sit here and lie.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
I'm just saying, if they had Hopkins, Bourne, Juju, Ramondre Stevenson drafted a starting left tackle,
mm-hmm.
their interior offensive line, Trent Brown on the right side, and Mac Jones, I would be impressed by their offense.
Yeah. Well, they're going to need to keep up with everyone in the division when your boy Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets.
Actively traded?
No, but he's your boy. All right, what was the other thing? Yeah, I know, Tim.
So listen to a lot of New England sports radio today. Whatever you call it. Boston sports radio. A lot of talk about Lamar. Patriots being a sleeper for him.
Oh, please.
I don't get it.
It's not true.
It would be dope.
Oh, I'd have a Lamar Jackson jersey so fast.
Is that a shirt jersey?
Yeah, we always used to have. You had the Scalabrini and the Perkins ones.
They're a little too small on you, but they're nice.
Well, you just bought the wrong size.
On my bottom. 2 first-round picks, though.
Okay.
You're okay with that?
Yeah. I think people.
I would love it. I'm
why,
cool
I don't
with
know
it.
why, I don't know why people don't think Lamar Jackson is as good as Lamar Jackson is.
See, I was trying to undersell it to you. I'm cool with 2 first-round picks. It could be this year and next year.
Yeah.
It could be 6 years from now.
I don't care. Because in 6 years, Lamar Jackson's like 31.
And he's still awesome.
Yeah. I don't understand why people are lukewarm on Lamar Jackson. He's awesome.
Where do you think he goes? Nobody knows.
Yeah,
he goes back to the Ravens after this. I don't
think he'll go back to the Ravens. I don't think so. I think someone will give him a giant deal and he'll go to the Ravens and they're going to be like, that's too rich for us. And that was the whole purpose of the tag.
Yeah. Do you think it could be the Patriots?
No, I just don't think so.
They'd have to trade Mac Jones on draft night.
Yeah, and who would take him? Because Jimmy G went to the Raiders. I, I don't see it. I just don't see it.
They're considered a wild card. Bill
Yeah, I
Bedard,
mean,
that's his name, right?
every everyone could be a wild card, Tim. That's what the whole definition of it.
Yeah, but that report doesn't come out unless you're an actual wild card.
Hmm. Or it's just something to talk about because you have to fill 4 hours in the middle of the afternoon. All right, Timmy, we're going to take a break and we're going to switch gears to a free falling Celtics team. Tim, we're back. I don't even know where to start. So I'll just start with, rip that Band-Aid off. The Celtics are now the third seed in the East as we sit here today. Currently slated to play the Nets in the playoffs. They've clinched the playoffs. They're in it. So we get
They'll be
that
there.
excitement. So we said last week they go on this trip. They need to go 4-2. They're currently 3-2. They very well could beat Sacramento. I know Kevin Huerter's hurt. So that's an important guy for the Kings. But it for some reason, even if they go 4-2, it feels bad.
They just don't. They can't do anything right. And I wrote, bad time to start playing like shit.
Yeah.
But they haven't been good since the All-Star break.
No. And they're just losing leads. It started with that Nets game, which we talked about. They just played like dog shit against the worst team in the NBA, the Rockets.
That's when we recorded last week.
Yeah.
I left this room and I went to watch the game. I was like, what am I watching?
Yeah. I think it's
Oh no, that was
legitimate.
the Cavs game.
Uh the Rockets, oh no, the Pistons are the worst team in the NBA by 2 games over the Rockets. That
Uh,
it's I can't wrap my head around it. My mind is in a pretzel. They just
the
play
only
like
thing
dog
that
shit.
is promising is Jaylen Brown has been consistent,
Jaylen Brown's still been really good. Um,
but the rest of the team, Jesus.
the
Tatum has nights where you're just like, what happened? He'll shoot threes or shoot from the field even.
mm,
And you're like, yep, he just doesn't have it. And he goes, what, 3 for 15?
yeah. So they against and I'll fully admit, I missed the game against the Jazz. I
We
was
were busy.
yeah, I was on a dance floor, and but I did see that they were up 19 and lost. And then I saw on Twitter, Derek White played 0 minutes in the fourth quarter. 0. You
It
couldn't give the
makes,
guy 5 minutes?
I don't, and so, but let's backtrack because I think this deals with, or maybe we'll, whatever the other term for going forward is,
I
this
think it's
deals
just
with
going
Missoula.
forward. Yeah. So I wrote White played 0 minutes in the fourth quarter. Like Missoula has no shot of lasting if just one time you can't get a sense of a game and say, I'm playing White and not smart.
So I wrote the players run the team. Missoula is being a new coach is starting to show he seems to be letting the players run the team.
I don't know who the
because
hell is saying we need to play Marcus Smart right now.
but Marcus Smart is. And Mazzulla is coming
Yeah,
in.
you're
He's not
probably
trying to
right.
ruffle feathers. But like Derek White has to close games.
100%.
I would fuck around with Derek White, Brogdon, Brown, Tatum, Horford. Because God knows Robin
I said
Williams
that
isn't going
last
to come.
week.
I
That
know,
should
but
be it.
it's still not happening.
No.
And I don't get why it's not. That Brogdon and White together at the top as the guards,
Yeah.
at least they can drive and pass. And if they're not going to pass, they can complete a shot and they're not going to take the dumb three.
Derek White initiates the offense better than anyone on the team. If it's getting sloppy, he just kind of puts his head down and just barrels into people and gets the foul, gets a crazy shot, or at least starts moving the ball around.
Yeah. So even if it's White, Brown, Tatum, Grant Williams, who I think is becoming unplayable.
Yeah. Hauser's
Mentally,
already
he
getting like
can't.
more money or more minutes. Hauser surpassed him, and I was ready to ship Hauser to the Y here in Goffstown.
I think. Did you say it last week or the week before that he's getting the yips?
Yeah, that sounds like something I would say.
Because he's like almost completely gone.
He definitely there are times you look at him and he has a shot, he pump fakes. He does his classic move, he pump fakes once. But he'll pump fake once and then he'll not shoot. He'll kind of freeze with the ball. And it's hard to watch.
But
It's
even in crunch time,
yeah.
those Cavs free throws, in my opinion, ended his season.
Yeah, that was rough. That was hard.
He just won't. You can't recover from that.
No,
And
and
then he missed the wide open layup. I contested but open layup against the Jazz.
mm, he
So I think he's pretty much done. I don't.
it's he's done, but the also with Marcus Smart in crunch time taking the shot. There's like 9 seconds left in the shot clock. You don't have a ton of time, but Smart's gonna take that shot instead of a driving kick or just a drive. He took a shot against the Rockets. It was just, close game. It went in, but it was one of those things where it's like, that's not a good shot. He made it, so I can't say that. But it isn't. And he drew the foul and threw it up, missed the free throw, but it's just one of those. He has reverted so much into well, I got to hit this big shot.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't even, he doesn't even, when he drives, he doesn't look to pass anymore.
No.
At the end of the shot clock or crunch time in the game, he does not look to pass.
No, that's what I'm saying. And it is glaring more and more every game as you start to realize, like, okay, so they're not as good as the Bucks. They might not be as good as the Sixers. They might not be like
they're not as good as the Sixers.
They could lose to the Knicks. They could lose to the Cavs. You're like going through all these teams. You're like, what the fuck happened in these last 2 months? They
might lose to the Heat.
They miss Udoka. They just miss Ime.
And this brings up a point that I wrote down. I don't remember if it was the end of last year or it might have been in the playoffs. Udoka called a timeout and just walked over and said, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, he said it
to the entire
Tatum
starting.
Brown.
Yeah, and then he didn't say anything else. That was his timeout. What the fuck is that?
Because it was like they came out of a timeout and didn't do what he said. Yeah, they missed that toughness. They missed that, like, I'm gonna.
It was just 3 words, and then the other 25 seconds was just silence, and they came back out on the floor and were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Missoula can't do that
No, no. And I
because
mean,
I don't think he controls the room.
we're also this far into the season. Like the let him play through it thing, it's not working. Call the fucking
No.
timeout. Just do it. Just call the timeout.
Oh, how do you know why they blow these 12 to they had a 17-point lead against the Jazz
It was
or
19.
19.
Yeah.
They blow it because you don't call a timeout and a team goes on a 15-2 run.
If 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 it doesn't kickstart your offense, your team, the least it does is like
Slows them down.
stops them from doing shit. It's bad, and it's it's glaring when you're just not playing the guy who's been your third best player. Like
In the fourth quarter. Like, I don't get it.
and it sucks because it's a reputation thing, and it sucks because Marcus. The thing is you have. I think we said this last week. You have the built-in out that Smart's injured. You can just say that. You can say it to him. Say like, "Hey, we're just gonna say your ankle is acting up or whatever." He
But
rolled
you
his
shouldn't even
ankle
have
or
to say it. Missoula just doesn't have the nuts to pull him out of the game. You don't have to tell Marcus Smart, like, hey, this is how we're going to put it in. Like, no, pull him from the game and win the fucking game.
yeah.
And then after the game, go into the locker room and say, Smart, you played like shit. Figure it out. If your ankle hurts, sit out for a week.
Yeah, that's what I wish he didn't come back when he did. I wish he just stayed out longer.
Well,
I bet
it's crazy you have to play to his feelings.
yeah. I bet there
Because
were
Tatum and Brown, I bet they would prefer White over Smart. They can't say that. But
well,
you
I
know what?
think
The
you can
coach can be the
also
bad guy.
you can just see it. You don't have to like even make it that complicated. You can just look at it and say White's playing better. Smart's
Yeah.
not physically where he was. We need these games. Now you're talking
They're going to be the 3 seed.
you're going to have to play a game 7 on the road for the Eastern Conference semis and the Eastern Conference finals because of this. And
If you get through the first team, you're playing like dog shit.
right. Right. I just feel like it's going to be right now it's trending towards it's going to be the Sixers finally get over the hump with the Celtics. That's how it's looking right now. Like in the second round, Sixers Celtics.
When does Rob Williams come back?
Who knows?
I
And for
I
how
don't even know
long?
what is his injury?
I don't know.
I meant to look it up.
A leg again? Who knows?
It's just
it's it's hard to watch, and it sucks because there are nights you just see it coming. You're like, well, this is going to be one of those nights. But I just wanted to touch on one last thing about the Celtics, then we can get to America's favorite segment. But since the All-Star break, since Jason Tatum won the MVP, the Kobe Bryant MVP, and scored 55 points, and it was a Twitter fest about him.
Williams will be back tomorrow.
Oh, good. Tatum, since the All-Star break, is 27, 10, and 5, which is not bad. But what you mentioned, he's shooting 42% from the field and 29 from 3. Since the All-Star break, he has a negative 16 plus minus.
Yeah.
And one last stat I wanted to look up because it's seemed worse, but it's still not great. He's averaging 3 turnovers per game.
So when you wrote Tatum's falling, I think it's a combination of two things. He realizes the team is struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, just, I don't know. You still, to this day, you watch this offense, it looks like 2 years ago where it's your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get into a flow for 7 minutes and the offense is unstoppable. But Do you think it's starting to be too many minutes for Tatum over these past 2 years?
I do think at least this year the minutes thing is stupid. He doesn't need to lead the league in minutes. He just doesn't. I don't want any
No, I think
Celtic
he's
to
tired.
ever lead the league in minutes. But what I hate is in these crunch time games, they get over half court and they just toss them the ball and they say, go to work. And,
In their hard minutes.
but but it's also no flow to the offense when they do that. And there are games
Yeah.
where he's struggling and Jaylen Brown has 38 points. And then Jaylen Brown's just like not touching the ball. And it's just,
For the entire third and fourth quarter. Because Brown
it's,
will score 25 in the first half and then won't touch it in the second.
yeah. And he's still aggressive as shit going to the hoop. He still like gets good looks at threes. And the offense just grinds to a halt when it gets close in the game. And it's basically Smart dribbles across half court and just gives it to Tatum. And then they try and set picks for him.
Yeah. I I think he's played too much between the playoff run, the Team USA, and then this year with him playing 42 minutes a game, right?
Is
Or
that
he's
what
at 39 or something
that's too
ridiculous.
much. That's too much. That should be cut by 8.
Every other,
But you know what's hurting him
all
is
NBA player is taking a day off.
uh, what's hurting him also is if you have an 18-point lead going into the fourth quarter, you should get the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter off. But they're blowing the leads.
And he's coming back in.
He he could be getting more time off, but they're fucking it up. It's just an overall fuck
Well, in the
up.
first half of the year, their bench was the best. Everybody said their bench was the best thing about them.
Yeah.
The Celtics depth was supposed to be what is made them the best team in the NBA.
Well, yeah,
And
at the
then the
beginning of the
bench
year,
fell the fuck off.
yeah,
But it didn't really because Brogdon's good, White's good.
but White has to start now because Robert Williams can't stay healthy and Grant Williams disappeared.
Yeah.
And Hauser was also shooting like 65% from 3 those first couple weeks. So
Yeah, true. But
it's
it was
just
their depth that was supposed to be the answer.
the last thing we'll say
People were
is,
bragging about Blake Griffin being decent one day a week.
well, when they used him
Now he's
like that, it was
playing.
great.
Yeah, now he's playing 3 times a week and he sucks.
Sometimes Blake Griffin's shooting a couple threes, and I'm like, okay, you had that one good game. Let's tone it down.
Feel that
Last thing
about
I
a
wrote
lot of the
is
Celtics.
I I don't trust them in any series right now. I'm nervous about every series.
Yeah, I don't trust him. I also think it's more of that middle of the pack. Those teams like the Knicks, Heat, Cavs, I guess the Nets, they're all just like good enough.
I would
They're
say,
scrappy enough where you're like, fuck. I don't want them to play 7 games. I would hate a series against the Cavs.
yeah, I would say right now, if I'm looking at all the teams they could slot up against, I actually want it to be the Nets.
Yeah, but I still don't like it.
No, I don't like it, but I mean, the Cavs
I,
are legitimately good, and I don't think Donovan Mitchell has missed a shot against the Celtics. They can't stop Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. And then the Knicks, they have proven that
can't
they
stop
can't beat them
Julius Randle.
or Emmanuel quickly. And if Jalen Brunson plays, then it's just,
Yeah,
and then we know the Heat, like they're just the Heat.
suck.
So
They just suck. Bam's gonna hit that fucking 7 to 12 footer every time.
and Jimmy Butler is going to score when he wants to.
Yeah, I know. So I have their last 11 games in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go through and see wins and losses from you.
Okay.
Sacramento tomorrow.
You know what? I actually think they win.
I have them losing. Indiana.
That's a win.
I got to win. San Antonio.
Oh, a win.
I got to win too. Washington.
A win.
Got to win too. This is a big one. Milwaukee.
Loss.
I got to win.
Hmm.
Utah. Utah doesn't care.
No, and it's a back-to-back against Milwaukee. That's a loss.
Yeah. Got a loss too. Going into Philly.
Oh God,
I got to win.
yeah, I think they could beat them. Yeah.
Toronto.
So the next two are against Toronto. I think they split them. But also this depends because like who knows who's playing at these last like 4 games.
Well, they're going to have to play.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
it's
I guess they're not, what, they're 9.5 on the 4 seed or 7.5. So I guess they don't have to play. They're
yeah, but
playing
it depends
to
on
get to
what
the
goes
two
on with
seed.
the Sixers there. So 11 games left. I don't know. I could see them going 7-4 if they, but that's like them getting their shit together. They could also go 5-6.
Yeah, so they're 7 games up on the Cavs, tied right now with the Sixers, but they have a win. Like they're plus a win.
Yeah. I think it's funny. I saw their record at one point and I knew they had like 20 games left. And I remember at the beginning of the year, I said that I think they'd win 55 games, but their record was so good. I was like, oh God, they better not win 55 games. That means they play terrible in the second half. And it's coming true. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Sure, everyone wants to be
I
right,
mean,
but
I think they were projected for 62.
like what, going into the
Yeah,
All-Star break or
over
something?
under. No, over under at the
Oh,
beginning of the
really?
season. I think they were the highest team with
Jeez, that
62.
seems high.
Well, they brought everybody back from a champion.
Except the guy that held them all together.
Well,
Um,
I don't think they knew that was going to happen.
Tim, do you want to tell the people what we got for a food list this week?
Yeah, so we went based off our weekend at this wedding. We did late night drunk foods.
I was going to
So you're
ask you,
drunk.
you talked about where this came from. I was going to say, was there an inspiration for this? And I think there
Yeah.
was because you got to enjoy some. I didn't because I was, how to put this, refunding all the drinks I got to have at the party.
You're kind of making money at that point because it was an open bar.
Yeah. So I did not get to enjoy any late night snacks, but let's make a list here because I have enjoyed every one of these snacks late night that I'm about to say. So give me your number 5. Give the people your number 5.
I'm gonna do number 5. I'm gonna do pizza, which is what we did at the wedding.
You had some Domino's pizza.
Dominio's, shout out Jennings. He once after my wedding ordered 15 medium pizzas, and one of them it was extra jalapeno and bacon. Nobody ate it because that's crazy.
Well, I had one bite, one slice, and I said, "Well, this is no good for me at this point in my life."
No,
And then I just went to I think like straight up pepperoni because
yeah, or cheese. Because who eats extra jalapeno and bacon pizza at 3 in the morning?
well, not me. Well, I mean I did, but not consistently. My number 5 is a chicken sandwich.
That
You
would be
just
good.
you pick up you drive by an establishment and you're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go get a chicken sandwich from you."
Yeah, yeah, that's not a bad pick.
And I don't need anything on it, just maybe a piece of lettuce. I don't care. It could be
Yeah,
bread and chicken.
I don't disagree with that. I am actually a little jealous. Number 4, I did tacos because
Okay.
they're just never the wrong answer.
No, so they're not on my list, but
But they have to be like Old El Paso or Taco Bell.
yeah,
I
I guess
mean,
that
if I could find a street taco, I
right.
assume I would eat it.
So I guess one time in Charleston, South Carolina, we got some Doritos
Those
Locos Tacos.
those were good.
And the Uber driver could not believe I'd never been to Bojangles.
Makes sense. It's
So
blasphemy.
I guess I
He
never
tried to
like
drive us to a Bojangles.
yeah, she did?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't remember that. But
because you want to blow your mind
I'm glad you said your
more
mind.
ways than one.
The fry number 4 for me is fries. I didn't put tacos on my list because it's just not something I've ever sought out because like
Okay.
I'm not looking for Taco Bell, but I put fries. If you just give me a pile of fries, I'm happy.
I almost put potato chips because I could house a bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's just so many good things when you're drunk.
Well, yeah, pretty much everything
Not
except
everything. I didn't put
whatever
any desserts.
what except whatever electrolyte drink I tried to drink when I got back to my hotel room. That
Probably. Oh, that weird thing Allie got you.
yeah, guess what?
It didn't do the trick.
It didn't stay long.
Yeah, you probably could have done a slice of cheese Domino's pizza. You know what
I
they're doing now? They're putting the seasoning on the crust.
Yeah, I've had that with the seasoning.
It was nice. I didn't ask for it. They
All right,
did it
what's
for
your
free.
number 3?
Nuggets,
Mm,
any and all forms.
yeah.
The amount of
I
times I've eaten mom's chicken tenders drunk
yeah.
is outrageous.
Yeah.
Like, but late night, like
Oh
the
yeah.
cold ones.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. I guess I covered the nugget fried chicken aspect in my list with that chicken sandwich, but yeah, if you got me some nugs, mm. Know what I've eaten a bunch cold? Papagino's chicken nuggets
They're incredible.
or buffalo tender, like
Yep.
the Papagino's ones. I feel like we would just always order them. You would, and then they'd be there when our night was complete.
Makes sense why I
My
ordered
number
them.
3 is now this is specific, a pan fried in butter hot dog, stovetop
Interesting.
melting
Interesting.
butter with a nice Frankfurter.
Yeah. That's a natural casing for all you listeners.
Yeah, yeah, you got to have that snap. I'll eat a grilled one also. I shouldn't say just pan fried, but if you said do you want it grilled or pan fried in butter, I want it pan fried in butter.
Yeah. I think we get that from dad.
I want nothing when I'm going for it,
Nothing good for the heart.
nothing good for the heart
Yeah.
or the liver, kidneys, anything.
Anything inside. I want it to hurt.
And recently it's the thing is nothing stays inside for me. It's been an epidemic for me for a couple years now.
Yeah, well, you're old.
Yeah, I'm in my mid-30s, sure. All right, what's your number 2?
Now this is a staple. It's taquitos.
Oh, okay.
Um, I'll eat about 20 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out, me and George used to eat these all the time. He's recently married, as we said earlier. They're just so good. And the old El Paso, or no, whatever it is. What
I
is
think
that?
it's
What is
called
that
like
brand?
taquito. It's
Yeah, it
something
might
like
just be taquito.
or Tito's.
No,
No.
that's bagel bite. That's bagel poppers. What are those things?
Oh,
Pizza bites.
oh.
Yeah, taquitos with not enough salsa. You put it in a bowl and you never have enough.
Yeah.
But your mouth is just exploding in pain every time you bite it
Yeah,
until you get
because
through the first 10 and then they're cool enough.
yeah, they get very hot. It's lava in there. I am gonna say my number 2 is grilled cheese.
Wow, we're really eating a lot of different junk foods.
Yeah.
Remember that time Matt lost his sandwich?
Yes.
Still think it's behind the couch and Ghost Mr. Fred ate it.
Yeah, did we get sandwiches and he just didn't know where his went?
No, we went to John's. That's the name of it, right? In
John
Clinton.
Sandwich Shop. Yep.
We went there and for some reason Matt ate half his grilled cheese and brought the other half home,
And this is just cheese and white bread.
which has never been done at that restaurant. Nobody ever. I don't even think they had a to-go box. They might have given him two real ceramic plates to carry it home.
Uh,
And He
Yeah,
lost
he
it
was
behind the
mad
couch.
for like 2 weeks. He wouldn't
He
let it
thought one of
go.
us ate it. Yeah, he thought somebody ate it.
Oh,
It was a half a grilled cheese sandwich
one
on
time
Wonder Bread.
me and Dave were making the rounds in Clinton, and we went home. I think we Ubered home. And when we got home, Sarah was pregnant with the twins, and she had an electric skillet out with 6 grilled cheese going, two
Wow.
for each of us. It was seriously like, I don't think I've
It's
ever
lit.
been more happy coming home drunk, seeing it. Because I didn't expect it. I was like, okay, maybe find something to eat, but there it was. I probably would have ate my body weight in pirate's booty, but there were the grilled cheese. All right, what's your number one?
Bagel bites.
Bagel bites. Wow, bagel bites. I'm surprised by that.
I could eat 800 bagel bites. Once they get to the right temperature, they're poppable.
Yeah. The bagel bites are tough because they're super hot, and then you have a small window, and then the bagel gets rock hard,
Yeah.
and then
But
it's
in that
not good.
window, when you're in that window, yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I could just eat so many bagel bites that it's,
would you say unhealthy?
yeah.
My number one's pizza. It's
Yeah.
just if you can just get me to a place where I can get one hot slice or two hot slices drunk, not like reheat. I'm talking a hot. Here's a couple bucks. It's the best.
That's Hampton Beach.
Yeah, I think it's also a lot of other places that we just don't frequent.
Yeah, but like we frequent in Hampton Beach.
uh,
And you would go to that place right next on 8th Street on the way home, and you were either getting an ice cream or a slice of pizza, depending on how your night was going.
or you're popping over to Blinks and getting fried dough.
Yeah.
So,
I couldn't put desserts in this because I was going for late night drunk food. I don't really do dessert.
no, you want something that is a little
Maybe next
greasy.
time we do midday drunk food, I'll eat a lot of gummies
Mm.
when the sun's
I
up.
the first thing that popped in my mind when you said that was nachos, but I have a very specific nacho order. No meat, melted shredded cheese. No
You
meat.
just
I like meatless nachos. I like my
I'm not gonna
jalapenos.
sit. I'm not gonna judge you. Are you just saying you're gonna put cheese on a bunch of tortilla chips and melt it?
Well, no, I don't want like queso. I want melted cheese.
Yeah,
Like,
shredded cheese
yeah, that's been
on
melted.
a plate.
Well, on top of chips. Then on those chips is all my veggie
Oh,
happenings.
so you are putting toppings. You're not just doing like
Yeah, no, I'm not just doing
shredded
cheesy.
Mexican
No, and I'm not doing
chips.
cheesy tortilla chips. No.
You're not doing them in the microwave.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
But all right, Tim. Well, drink. Remember to hydrate. You got to bounce back. And I will talk to you next week.
All right, Tom. 1 week away from the draft.
Is that? Do we have a date for that? Do we know?
No idea. They haven't announced it yet.
Oh, well, God, they should. They probably have to secure a venue. All right, Tim. Bye.
Bye.